As I promised last time, this article is going to be about starting to dig into the meta of Powerup. I'm still new to the game, and while I'm no longer up to date with the cutting edge of the poker meta, I think my skills are up to the task to look at the evolving strategy of Powerup. The first thing I want to look at is the ability to skew odds in your favour. With no limit hold'em, you're stuck with the cards that are always going to be dealt. Once the deck has been shuffled and the whole cards have been dealt, the cards are set in stone, well, not counting a dealer error of course. With Powerup, you can change the cards that are going to be dealt to the middle of the table. It's possible to do this because of the addition of power cards. We're going to have a look at the numbers to understand this, but I promise we won't go number mad here at playpowerup.com. In my opinion, in order to be a profitable player, you do need to understand at least the basics of the numbers. With the scanner and engineer power cards, you can change the odds when you are chasing straights, flushes, or really any other draw. You can also mess with your opponents when they are chasing a draw when you've already hit your cards. When you're chasing a flush draw and you are able to play the scanner card, you are able to see the next two cards in the deck. If those cards don't help you, you can choose to just throw those in the muck pile. While getting rid of two cards might seem like a small change, it's enough to make some situations profitable in the long term, where they wouldn't be in standard no limit hold'em. Let's have a quick look at the maths here. When a flop is dealt, we net a value of 5 of the 52 cards in the deck, 2 in our hand and 3 on the flop. We don't know the value of the cards in our opponent's hand, so we don't count them. If we have 4 cards to a flush, that's 4 cards of all the same suit, we're trying to find that 5th card of the same suit to make our hand. 9 of the remaining 47 cards have the suit we want to see. 9 cards out of 47 is roughly a 19% chance to see one of these cards dealt on the turn, and 19.6% to be dealt on the river. If we play the scanner card and don't get one of the cards we're looking for, we remove 2 of the unwanted cards from the deck. This changes our chances of hitting the card we want, and our odds go up to exactly 20% on the turn and about 20.5% on the river. This might sound like a small change, but over a long turn it really adds up. By using one Powerup card, we've skewed up the odds in our favour by roughly 1% on both the turn and the river. Now that's not taking into consideration the cards we dump may be the ones our opponents are hoping for, or our fold equity, if we bet our draws. The engineer card works by dealing 3 cards and allowing us to pick one to be the next card dealt. Now assuming our opponents don't play a power card of their own, and we've played the engineer on the flop, this gives us 3 chances to hit our flush card on the turn. That's a chance of just under 59%, and as compared to just over 19% if you didn't play the engineer card. That's a big change. Even if we miss with all 3 of our engineer cards, the river still offers odds of just over 20%. We have massively skewed the odds in our favour, and this is just one way to use these power cards. We can also use them to control what's going to be dealt next, reducing our opponent's chances of getting the card they need, but I'll talk about that more in another article. Okay, enough with the maths. Let's talk about how we use these cards to our advantage. Talking purely about when we're chasing the flush, these 2 power cards offer us a massive edge, if we're able to take advantage of it, and that's the big caveat to these numbers. While we can use power cards, so can our opponents. All we can do is take advantage of being dealt these power cards and use them when they make the most difference to us. The meta may still be developing in Powerup, but from just some basic maths we can gauge the strength of the power cards. I'm still trying to work out when the best time is to use these cards, and when I'm wasting my energy and when I'm wasting my power cards. I think I'm getting nearer to a working meta, but I know I'm still making some big mistakes. It's going to take a long time to override my long established poker bias, but I'm getting there. In the next article I'll have a look at how I've been playing these cards and using them to protect my made hands. After all, changing odds works both ways.